God has plans to prosper you, give you hope and a future too. So let me remind you of what you have the power to do.
You've been on a journey, trying to find your way. Like the sun, you're rising, 'cause today's your day to unlock every gift inside. Let your potential flow. Don't let anybody kill your vibe. Time to bust up and show. Gotta keep on reaching, keep believing. Act like you know you can win. Live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra. We've got wellness, church by phone. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired. To rise a little higher with Cassandra. They said you'd never make it, but you're still here. Kept on pushing through all your doubts and fears. Never let a hater see you sweat. Remember who you are. When they go low, let them reap what they sow while you go far. Gotta keep on reaching, keep believing. Baby, shine like a star. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra. If you got haters, they gon' hate. Keep your head up and just be great. It's your season, your winning season with Cassandra. Rise up, time to get on your grind. Go after your dreams, no time to fall behind. Push till the end and never give in. It's your winning season, get ready to win. Keep moving forward and never look back. It's time to get motivated with Cassandra Mack. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra Mack. We've got wellness, church by phone. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired. To rise a little higher with Cassandra Mack.
They want to see you in a rocking chair, just rocking away, waiting to die once you become 70. So many people are of that mindset. Today, we're talking about envy in the golden years when you're 70 and up. This video is actually being done by request. One of the members of the YouTube channel asked me to do a video specifically for people in their golden years because most people are under the false notion that envy stops as you get older and it only happens when you're in your teen years, 20s, 30s, 40s. Nope. Envy does not stop as you get older because haters come with every decade. Today's video was brought to you by my book, Rise Above the Haters. You may need this. You might be 85 years old and still need this book, Rise Above the Haters. And this is a book that will help you keep on rising and shining through Bible-based strategies to rise above the haters, despite who doesn't want to see you win and who has a problem with the fact that you are showing up and glowing up, living your best life at every age. The link is in the video description box to find out more. So, a lot of people think that when you hit your golden years, 70 and beyond, that life is just beautiful and nostalgic, and that it's about spending time with friends, family, and everything is just rosy and beautiful. And that's beautiful if that's the case. But for many people, that is not their lived reality. And there are a lot of people who believe that once you hit 70 and beyond, that you were just supposed to sit in a rocking chair, talk to your cats, and wait to die. And life is meant to be lived at every decade until you take your last breath. The reality, particularly for the believer, is even if you are retired from a working job, you never retire from the kingdom. There is always purpose and destiny to walk into at every decade of life. So do not allow people who believe that once you hit your golden years, you are just supposed to stop having joy, stop doing things that give your life meaning and pizzazz, and you were just supposed to go sit down in a rocking chair and wait for death to find you. That is not living life. Let me tell you, life doesn't end at 70. My mother is almost 80, and you hear me talk about her a lot. And I can't keep up with her. She is constantly going someplace, telling me what's going on. And we both live in New York. And she, oh, they're having a concert. Oh, at Lincoln Center, they have salsa dancing. Let's go. Oh, they're having a concert. Oh, they're having I'm like, you want to go to a rap concert? Yeah, let's go. And she's the one telling me what's going on. And unfortunately, when you refuse to shrink, when you refuse to fade in the background, when you are still evolving at 70 plus, when many are devolving, when you are realizing that your best days are still in front of you, that as long as you're alive, there are more best days to have. In fact, the Bible says your latter shall be greater. Your latter shall be greater. It gets greater later. And many people attribute this saying to a lot of people who have popularized this phrase, but actually it comes from the Bible. It is Job chapter 8, verse 7. Job chapter 8, verse 7, which says, and though you started with little, you will end with much. That's one version. Let me give you the King James Version. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. And so this is letting you know that your later will be greater. And when you really take that to heart, like, I'm just getting started, maybe that's your attitude, you will have people who think that it's the end, and they will resent your vitality. So I want to break down what envy looks like in your golden years, because number one, it's not often talked about. Number two, perhaps you have a parent or a grandparent in their golden years who is dealing with envy. They don't know how to kind of put a name to it, and they're telling you of the different things that they're experiencing, and you may need to help them advocate for themselves, or you may have to advocate for them. You may need to help them learn how to speak up for themselves, learn how to recognize that they are dealing with envy. So for those people that you love, your parents, your grandparents who are in their golden years, see, age doesn't automatically equal wisdom. There are a lot of old fools. Just like there are educated fools, there are old fools. And age doesn't automatically equate to wisdom, maturity, or joy. Some people get older and dumber. Some people get older and meaner. Some people get older, but they don't get better. They don't grow. And when they see you thriving in your 70s and beyond, instead of being inspired by you, like, hey, it's not too late for me either, they envy you. So let's talk about it. Number one, brace yourself, because this going to trigger people. Number one is attractiveness envy. So if you are still keeping yourself up, and maybe even still getting asked out on dates at 70 and beyond in your demographic. Sometimes it's younger men and younger women. Sometimes it's people in your demographic. So maybe you've taken care of yourself very well. You carry yourself with class. And because of that, you're still attractive. And I'm not even talking about a looks thing. I'm talking about you just carry yourself with class. You make the effort to put on your earrings. Put on your makeup if you wear makeup. Put on things that make you feel glorious. And you could be going to the supermarket, but you look like you really going someplace. That is my mother. Well, I have on my jeans, a t-shirt, and some sneakers. to go to the supermarket. My mother got on a hat. The other day, we going to the supermarket. I'm like, where you going? Oh, we're going to the supermarket. She got on a linen outfit, green linen pants with a green floral shirt, the hat to match, the little gold sandal, because there was a little gold in her shirt, so she had to pick up on the shirt, and then the little gold bag. I was like, well, I'll be, you doing it, Ma. You look beautiful. And here I come with my t-shirt and my jeans and my sneakers. And so if you are the type of person who you really put it together, right? And it attracts a lot of people, right? And not just the opposite sex, but even other people. Like a lot of younger people will compliment my mother. I remember she came with me to a training I did, right? She was helping me at a training. I was the keynote speaker at it's called the Daniel Memorial Institute. I was their keynote speaker for one of their conferences, and they have a conference for people who work in the foster care, and this was years ago, but she was still an older woman, right? And she's on stage with me, and I'm introducing her, and I'm giving my speech, and she's just kind of sitting in the corner, on stage with me though. And so once we get off stage and we're sitting down, and now, we're eating, it's time to eat. She had a line of women. I had people waiting to sign my books, waiting, for me to sign my books so they could get a book from me. She had a line of women asking her beauty secrets. Like, how old are you? Well, what do you? She's like, oh, yes, I take an ice cube and and she's just giving out the beauty secrets. I'm like, Mom, what are you going to start a YouTube channel for like your demographic? Because even younger women are going to want to know how you do what you do. And so my mother's a married woman, married to the father who raised me, but she still gets asked on dates. And there are women that can't stand her. She'll be somewhere and people will ask her, you're single? What's going on? And so when you are a woman who is older and people believe that when you're older, you're just supposed to give up on life, and you still get positive attention because of, it's also the spirit you carry. It's not just a physical thing. People will limit it to that because there are a lot of people who might fit the conventional definition of beauty, but they're ugly. They're ugly because of their personality. They're ugly because of their ways. And you can't even really see the beauty. You just see the ugly in them. So it's also the spirit you carry, living with joy, living with peace, being a good person. So they may say things like, at your age, you don't need to be dressing like that. At your age, you need to go sit down somewhere. You trying to be too cute. And that's just envy. That's just envy. If you want to wear your linen pants to the supermarket, if you want to wear your hats, because what you going to do? Just put them in the closet and never wear them? Use your stuff. If you want to put on your lipstick and your earrings, do you. I'm talking to the women. For the men, if you want to wear a tie, if you want to wear your collared shirts, do you. So you will have people that will be envious of that. So that shouldn't surprise you. And sometimes, particularly with women, they get meaner as they get older towards one another. And you got to be mindful of that, because women can isolate you so that you feel, this is what it really is, because you get a lot of attention, particularly for women, as an older woman, they are going to punish you by making sure you get no attention from them. So you might be in a community where nobody speaks to you. None of the women really speak to you. They never invite you to go to lunch with them. They might even roll their eyes at you. And you're like, we pushing 80. How are you rolling your eyes like we are 16? Like, aren't you too old for this? Don't you need to be finding hobbies and finding things that bring you joy? You ain't got nothing to do besides roll your eyes at her? That's nuts. But do understand that this is a real thing. And so you may find that maybe your grandma is very isolated, even though she's vivacious. So take the time, spend time with her, invite her out, invite your grandpa out, because it's not just a woman thing. Second type of envy that you will see is vitality envy. So it's connected. So you're the type of person that you move your body, you keep your mind sharp. Maybe you do crossword puzzles, different things to keep your mind sharp, right? And you've got energy and pep in your step. Maybe you move your body, right? And you will hear it like, oh, you acting like, you 20. You moving around too much. And you're like, how are you mad that you're moving around too much? Like, that's nuts. And so my mother gets up early in the morning. She does her walking. She does her bike riding. She be moving and grooving. And she is pushing 80. And she got a whole lot more energy than me. I'm a homebody. She can't sit home. And so when you are a person where you're eating right, you're moving your body, you're keeping your mind sharp, as I said, maybe you're doing crossword puzzles, maybe you're doing something else that keeps your mind sharp, you're reading books, and not reading online, but reading physical books. You're doing things to keep the mind active. Maybe you take classes. Maybe there are free classes in your community. Maybe you're learning another language, doing different things to keep evolving. There will be people that feel you need to sit in a rocking chair. Don't listen to them. You keep living till you take your last breath. You keep living with purpose, meaning, and joy. And you will have people who will be upset because you're investing in your mind. You're investing in your physical health and your mental health. Now, granted, sometimes as we get older, there are illnesses that happen that we have no control over, right? There are illnesses that happen. Maybe you are managing an illness. And maybe even through the illness, on the good days, you still do things that bring your life vitality. I don't know her personally, but I knew of a woman who was going through chemo, had a YouTube channel, and she would talk about her journey and specifically different things that you could do to just maintain your vitality while going through that. And she was an older woman, and she got a lot of hate. She got a lot of love, but she also got a lot of hate. And I was very surprised, like, she's going through chemo. What are you hating? Why are you hating on her? But because she still had that vitality, even though she was managing, living with cancer. And so even if you are managing an illness, but you still have a vivacious attitude, there will be people who will be envious that you still have joy and you still approach life with a pep in your step, even when managing an illness. So that's the second type of envy that you may notice, vitality envy. And vitality is not just physical, but mental vitality, because you might be in a wheelchair, but your mind is still sharp. You're telling jokes. You are the life of the party. When you come around, people are looking for you. Where's John? Where's Bob? Where's Samantha? People are looking for you to tell your jokes, to tell funny stories. Why she always got to tell her stories? Why he always got to tell jokes? But people are laughing. The haters not laughing, but there are people that miss you, want to see you, ask about you, because you got stories for days, and they are good stories. The third type of envy is financial envy. And so you manage your money well, you saved, you invested, you stewarded what you had wisely, and now maybe you're taking a lot of cruises, you're traveling. You are just enjoying life, whether you're by yourself, whether you're with your spouse. And you may start to hear the whispers, she's always bragging about where she went. He's always posting his trips. I don't want to see his trip to Italy. I don't want to see his trip to Ghana. I don't want to see his trip to Costa Rica. And you're not bragging. You're just living the fruit of your financial discipline. And you plan for a future that they told themselves would never happen for them. And the reality is, it is your life and it is your money. Can't take it with you. So you might as well enjoy it. Do the things that you enjoy. And maybe you might not be traveling to another country. Maybe you're seeing the sights in your city. So many cities have things to do right in your city. There might be plays. There might be museums. There might be restaurants that you've never tried. There might be just different sights to see in your city, and you are taking pictures like it's the first time. And maybe you're making a scrapbook. You're making a project of it, of the different places that you're traveling to. People will hate on that because they want you in a rocking chair waiting to die. But that's not of God. That's not of God. God wants us straining forward towards what lies ahead. And there's always something that lies ahead. Fourth type of envy you may experience in your golden years that may surprise you is relationship envy. So you got kids who still check in. You got grandkids who love you. You got a spouse that you still laugh with. And suddenly people start acting funny and distancing themselves. She think her family perfect. He's always talking about his grandson. He's always talking about how he took his grandson to play baseball. So nobody cares about his stupid grandson. That's so mean. But this is people's lived experiences. The kids are always around. I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't deal with that. And the reality is, it's your life. They don't have to deal with it. They could live their life, but don't defecate on your life. Let them live their life. You live your life. My grandmother, we used to always say, does she have peace? Because her house we were always there. One of us was always there, and usually it was multiple. And I have a very big extended family. So it was so many cousins. My grandmother had a lot of kids. So it was so many cousins. There was always someone knocking on the door, always somebody coming to visit. And we would all bring us stuff, especially as we got older. We might bring whatever we bringing, but we're bringing different things. We're visiting with her. But it seemed like she was never alone. We were always there. Her kids were always there. Her grandkids, we were always visiting her. She always had a lot of love around her. And maybe that's your reality, right? Maybe you're 70 plus, that's your reality, and you are getting hate from people in your age group who are like, ain't you tired of your grandkids always coming over? And maybe you're not tired. It don't bother you. And it's your house and your life. And so do know that you will have people who will be upset at your relationships, whether it's your kids, relationships with your kids, your grandkids, your spouse, whatever it may be, and will feel like you just need to, again, sit in a rocking chair and just kind of wait and do nothing, twiddle your thumbs, sit in a rocking chair and do nothing. And that's not how life is meant to live. Nothing wrong with the rocking chair. Enjoy your rocking chair. But life is more than the rocking chair. The fifth type of envy is evolution envy. And this is a big one. They envy your choice to keep evolving. And you will hear things like, at your age, you're doing what? So maybe you are 78 and you enrolled in a new class. At 78, you are learning a new language. You're learning how to speak Spanish. You're learning how to speak Mandarin. You're learning how to speak, you can insert the language. And you are practicing that language, right? Maybe you join some sort of group. Maybe you join a bike riding group. Maybe you join a walking group where you go on a walk every morning. Maybe you started painting, watercoloring, gardening, and you refuse to stop growing. You will have to, why you say, who you going to speak Mandarin to at your age? Who you going to speak Spanish to? And you're like, I'm planning a trip. I'm going to speak the language when I go to different restaurants. This is for my growth. This is something I've always wanted to do. Why are you hating on my choice to evolve? This is my business. What this got to do with you? So do know that that will happen. Maybe you start a YouTube channel. At 82. People are like, why are you starting a YouTube? That's for the young folks. That's for the young folks. Okay, but you want to start a YouTube channel at 82. And you got a lot of wisdom to share. Maybe you want to start a newsletter for the Golden Age community. Maybe it's Gardening with Greta. Gardening with Greta. And you will have people, but I don't really think her newsletter is that good. And let's say your readership is growing. And there are people that come up to you and like, oh, I read your last newsletter and I really love the tips that you gave on how to grow tomatoes. Well, she's not the only one that knows how to grow tomatoes. You're like, what is wrong with you? This is my business. So do know that you will be accused of being too old to do what it is you're doing. They envy that your soul is still alive, that you still have dreams. You still have courage. You still have confidence. You still have creativity. You did not let the trials of life, and if you're over 70, you've been through some things. You did not let the roadblocks, the detours, the challenges, the obstacles. Maybe you have survived cancer. Maybe you have survived the loss of, maybe you've been twice widowed. You have survived some real things. Maybe we even buried a child. But you didn't let life break you and take your smile away. Even if you went through a season of grief and you really terribly missed them in your heart, you still get up every day, you look in that mirror, and you choose to live life. And as long as you got life in you, you're not going to let anyone take the joy out of living. You find new things to be excited about. You could have some new coffee and get excited about the coffee or the tea that you drink, and you might watch a sunrise and really appreciate, wow, the magnitude of a sunrise. Let me go watch, let me see the sunset. I want to sit in the park and see the sunset, and that's heaven on earth for you. That's heaven on earth for you. Maybe you're watching a baseball game and you're really cracking up, enjoying the game. Maybe you go to a comedy club and you are just cracking up, having a good time, because you realize that life is a gift. Life is a gift. Life is a gift to be stewarded at every decade. And if you are alive, no matter what measure of health there is that you have, you're going to use that measure of health to the best of your ability to live life. And so you might be in a wheelchair, but you decided, I ain't in no rocking chair. So I'm a wheel myself outside, and I'm going to appreciate a sunrise. I'm going to wheel myself outside, and I'm just going to appreciate looking at the trees and the flowers. I'm going to get in front of my computer, and I'm going to take a class right online to speak another language. I got use of my hands. Maybe I'm going to learn to crochet, and I'm going to start making sweaters, or I'm going to make hats, or I'm going to make a blanket that tells a story, and the different colors tell a story. Maybe it tells the story of my ancestry. Maybe I'm going to start taking photographs right in my own neighborhood, because there's beauty to be found everywhere. And these photographs are going to tell a story. Maybe I'm going to retrace my steps of where I grew up and see what old things are still in an old neighborhood if I'm not too far from my old neighborhood. And I'm going to take pictures, black and white, and I'm going to make a book. See, because I'm alive, you're alive. It's a gift. But there will be people who will envy the fact that that's your approach to life. So what's the message? Don't let envy, even in your golden years, slow you down. Don't let the haters, naysayers, and dream slayers suck the joy out of everyday living for you. If God woke you up this morning, then it means He has a purpose and a plan for you today. Every day that you are gifted with the present to be able to wake up and breathe, live your life like it is golden. Your golden years are not about fading into the background. It's called golden because, baby, you're supposed to shine. Shine wiser. Shine wiser. Shine brighter with the light of Christ on the inside. Shine freer. Free yourself. At 70, free yourself of what other people think. You're supposed to be in a place where you don't give a rat's butt about what people think about you. If you want to dance in the rain, baby, dance in the rain. You want to put on your pink lipstick, put on your pink lipstick. Do the things that bring you joy. You want to try your hand at love again and somebody decent asked you on a date? Go on ahead and have coffee and get to know. You may meet a new friend. Even if nothing romantic comes of it, you may meet a new friend. Keep living. Keep learning, keep laughing, keep blossoming, keep blooming where you're planted. And if today's message resonated with you, in the comments, say, I'm still glowing. I'm still glowing. I'm still glowing, because as long as you have the light of Christ in you, you still glowing. You still glowing. Even if you're managing an illness, if you could put a smile on your face, you still glowing. Maybe that's your thing. You still glowing. Maybe you want to draw some cartoons and put it in a book. You still glowing. You still glowing. So you make sure to not let anybody make you believe that because you are in your golden years, that you got to stay seated in a rocking chair and wait to die. That's not life, and that's not what God called you to do. Ephesians 2:10 makes it clear, and it's on our website, CassandraMacMinistries.com. You are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared for you beforehand that you might walk in them. And it doesn't say that you might walk in them until you hit 70 and then you stop walking in them. Nope. You walk in them until God calls you home. With that being said, keep your head up, rise above the haters, and let me let y'all know what we got going on for you. If you are not a member of the Wellness Club, baby, you are missing out. The Wellness Club is where it's at. The Wellness Club is one of the tiers of membership here in our YouTube channel, where you get a conference call live with me the first and third Wednesday of every month that focuses on mental self-care, emotional well-being, inner healing through a biblical lens, and is cheaper than therapy. You'll find the link in the video description box that'll take you to my channel membership. There are different tiers of membership, but many of you ask about the Wellness Club call. So that call comes with being a Wellness Club member. So make sure you join at the wellness level if what you want is access to that call that takes place twice a month. 2, I'm having a workshop by Zoom. So no matter where you are in the world, you can attend. It's happening on Saturday, September 13th, and it's called How to Test the Spirit. So the Bible tells us, do not believe every spirit, but test every spirit to see whether they are from God. And so this workshop, you're going to learn how to test the spirit. What are you testing the spirit for and against? We're also going to be looking at the different types of wicked spirits, so that when somebody is coming to you with a hidden agenda, with ill intentions, but they are camouflaging it by pretending to be a nice person, a good person, a kind person, you'll be able to see through the mask that people wear. All of my workshops come with a digital workbook, so you will get a digital workbook when you sign up for this workshop that comes to you by email as a PDF file for you to download and print. And what's great about my workbooks that come with the workshop is they're meant to be used during and after. So even after the workshop, the workbook keeps giving, because you have action plans to continue your growth in the area of, for this workshop, testing the spirit, and you have goal setting sheets and other things to really keep you moving forward in the area of testing the spirit. So the link is in the video description box. It's going to take you to Eventbrite, where you can find out all the details about the event for those who are interested in getting a ticket. I wouldn't wait if I were you. And all of my workshops require you to be on camera for Zoom workshops. So if your camera's shy, my workshop is not going to be the right fit for you. So with that being said, I want to say a big thank you to those of you who support this channel with your membership, who support this ministry by your donations. We couldn't do what we do without your donations. And so if you feel like this ministry is a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing in return, you can go to the ministry website, CassandraMacMinistries.com, click on the tab, the button that says donate, and follow the prompts from there. Every bit helps, because you keep us going. We couldn't do what we do without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. So with that being said, let's do our best to be kind, but let's also take our common sense with us. God bless.